Okay, video 2 in a quick recap. Equations and inequalities, grade 10 section. Alright, for this one over here, we're still busy with equations. Only this time we have equations with fractions. And I know fractions really scare people. Step number 1, we need to make sure that our denominators are all factorized. So I'm looking at this part over here. It's already factorized. This one over here, I can see highest common factor, the 2. Okay, so let's do this. Take out 2 as a common factor, leaving me with x minus 4. I apologize, these videos aren't the greatest of quality. They're just quick recaps for you guys, okay? Let's continue. This one over here is a trinomial. It's a grade 9 trinomial, so I'm going to factorize it into 2 brackets using our grade 9 method. Gives me minus 6 and plus 4. Let me see, minus 6 times, it's minus 6 minus 4. There you go. Minus 6 times minus 4 gives you positive 24, and minus 6 minus 4 gives you the negative 10. If you're a bit confused, then you have to go watch the factorization videos that I have, or you have to go brush up on your factorization. I'm going to copy this over here as is, and on this side over here, I'm going to copy it as is. Okay. Right. Now, oh, I forgot this part here. Now you look at your denominators. I've got an x minus 6, so let's write that down for LCD. So basically for LCD, you're just collecting one of everything, okay? This here is as it is, so you have to collect the whole thing. So I got an x minus 6, and I notice it's here and it's here. I got a x minus 4, so let's collect that. So it happens to be here and here. And I noticed there's a 2, so we got to collect one of those. So that's my LCD. Once you do your LCD, then I also said, if you were taught by me, I also said you need to write down some restrictions. So let's write down our restrictions here. I'm going to pause for 1 second on the restrictions part, and I'm actually going to apply the LCD, okay? So to apply the LCD, let's write it down. Each one of these fractions have to have the same denominator. You guys were taught this in previous grades, just you never had so many variables with them. You had more numbers. Okay. X minus 4. Okay. So what you're doing for this part over here, you're looking at the denominator you had, which was x minus 6. And you want to say, from the x minus 6, what else did I include? So I included a 2. That means I multiplied by 2. So you take this 3 that was here. Let me just use the same color. Bear with me. We've got the 3, same colors. Let's just keep them all as they were. Okay. This one over here, you are multiplying it by 2. And it has x minus 6. There it is. It needs the x minus 4. So you're multiplying it by x minus 4. So this one over here, it has the 2. It has the x minus 4. It just needed a x minus 6. And lastly, for this one over here, it has the x minus 6. It has the x minus 4. It just needs a 2. You can put the 2 in front, at the back over there, or you can put it here in front. Same thing, okay? Once you do this, where we've applied the LCD, you can drop the denominator. But before you do that, I want you to consider the restrictions. So let's go back here to restrictions. Okay, if it's x minus 6, you just change this here to become x cannot equal to positive 6. It was negative 6, you change it to positive 6. If it's negative 4, you change it to positive 4. What does this mean? If you were in my class, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're watching this and you weren't in my class, a restriction is basically telling us what value x cannot equal to. And it cannot equal to these numbers because if I put 6 into the place here in this denominator, this part of the bracket will be 0. So 2 times 0 times something is going to give me an overall answer of 0. And remember the one rule that we learned in mathematics, our denominator can never ever ever be 0. So that's why we restricted from our final answer of x being either 6 or or positive 4 in this particular question, because it won't exist in that case. Okay, let's go back over here. It's not compulsory to do this, but it's a good practice to learn. Once you've got your denominators the same, you can drop them, and we're going to multiply. So 3 times 2 giving me 6 times the x minus 4 minus the 5 times that x minus 6 and the 2 times x minus 24. We're going to now distribute, and then it's going to become a linear equation. So then from this part, you are going to sort out the laundry. If you watch my previous video, you know what I'm talking about. 6 times x giving me 6x, 6 times negative 4 giving me negative 24, minus 5x plus 30 equals 2x minus 48. We're going to sort out the laundry, bring all the variables, so x to one side, all the numbers to the other. Giving me 6 minus 5 is x minus this 2x. So I've got x minus 2x. And on this side, I'm going to use a calculator quickly. I've got negative 48. I'm taking this 30 over. And I'm taking the 24 over. Okay. This here gives me negative x equals negative 54. Therefore, x is equal to positive 54. You just go double check. Is this matching with any of our restrictions? No. So we are good. Okay, I have one more question for you. You're going to pause for a second, see if you can try it on your own. Then you're going to unpause and see that you got the correct answer. If not, then you're going to watch the rest of the video and see if you don't know where you made a mistake. Step number 1, you want to make sure that your denominator is factorized. So this one is in its most simplest form or most factorized form. This one is, I factorize this, it's a grade 9 trinomial. Then you want to get your LCD. Okay, I just wrote it over the LCD. Our LCD is x plus 6 because you're collecting one. It happens to be in both of these. And you're collecting one of the x minus 3. It happens to be here and here. I wrote that there, LCD. I put each one of them over the LCD and I wrote each of the numerators. This one here has a x plus 6. It needs a x minus 3. This one has a x minus 3. It needs a x plus 6. And this one over here, it has both of them, so it doesn't need anything more. Now, I'm going to write down my restrictions. You don't have to write down the word restrictions, but if you want to, you can. The restrictions in this case are, there's a positive 6, so x cannot equal to negative 6. And there's a negative 3, so x cannot equal to positive 3. Once we get to this part, we are going to drop the denominator and distribute. So for this, I'm going to do FOIL, I'm going to do FOIL, and then there's going to be this number. That's what I'm going to do next. And there we go. I did FOIL. Okay. Once you get to this point, you would notice that this isn't linear. The reason why it's not yet linear, or why we can't conclude that it's linear, is because I see x to the power of 2. So when you see something where it's not linear, don't just sort out the laundry. Instead, bring everything to one side, add and subtract like terms, and then still see if it's linear. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring everything to the side over here. So I went ahead and took everything from this side, put it on this side. I added and subtracted like terms. I went and just wrote or drew lines underneath the ones that are similar or like terms. Okay, I added all the coefficients. So negative 9 plus 4 minus 18 plus 2 plus 23. It works out to 2x. I added the numbers. So minus 12 plus 12. That gave me 0. Okay. That means I have 2x is equal to 0. Divide both sides by 2. I've got x is equal to 0. You go double check. Does this match to one of the restrictions? No, it doesn't. So that there is your final answer. I hope that this video helped you.